Let's look at changing a document after an SAP FI document has been posted. You can change certain fields in an already posted document at the document header and line item levels. This is based on the configuration setting. You have separate configuration for document header to ensure which fields can be changed, and similarly for line items as well. However, there are some sensitive fields which SAP will not allow you to change, which is like the amount, the posting key, the account, or any other fields which may affect the entries of the postings. As per the standard configuration, you can change the document header only at the document header text and reference fields, because most of the other fields are quite important, especially something like the document date, the currency, the posting date, and so on. So the system will not allow you to change those as per the default configuration. However, document header text are not a very sensitive field, and you may be able to change this, similar to the reference field as well. Now at the line item level, as per the default configurations, you will only be able to change some of the assignment field, the text fields, and the value dates. Usually sometimes you might enter a wrong text during a posting, so system will allow you to change the text, similar to the assignment field as well. Now it's recommended not to do any changes to these settings. That is, do not change the existing setting of the change document configuration. But for academic purposes, let's review how to view these configurations. The SAP configuration menu path for changing document is Financial Accounting New, Financial Accounting Global Settings New, Document, Rules for Changing Documents, and Document Change Rules, Document Header. Let's first look at the Document Change Rules for Document Header. You can execute this transaction. Okay. As by default, there are two document rules have been specified: document header text and reference fields. And you can see it's not been specified to any account type. Account type, as we know, there can be 5 account types: assets, customers, vendors, general ledger, and materials. There are no transaction types also specified, and there are no company codes also specified. So that means this setting is generic to all. Now let's double click one line item to see how it's specified. You can see the field name has been given over here. Now in SAP, everything has been stored in tables and fields. So the document header table is called BKPF, and the document header text field is called BKTXT. Now you do not have to know these fields for your certification purposes. Rule is valid for account type is not mentioned here. That means it's valid for all accounts. No transaction type is mentioned here, so it's valid for all type of transaction types. For example, payments, invoices, credit memos, etc. The company code is also not mentioned over here, so it valids for all company codes. Possibility of changing the field is being ticked. That means the field can be changed. There are no other conditions imposed, like example, posting period not close to anything. So you can change this document header text field. Now if you want to do any changes just for your specific company code, you can copy this entry by clicking on this entry and mention your company code. But as recommended, do not change any of the settings over here. You can just view to see how it's been set up. Now let's look at the line item level. Here line item level also you can see by default SAP has given many settings, and it's valid for all company codes. And they are given the account type here and the transaction type here, and it's mentioning which fields can be changed. Scrolling it down a bit more. Let's look one example. Now this is for assets. You can say this rule you can change the transaction type of an asset for asset line items, all transaction types, for company codes, all company codes. So this is specifically a field in the asset line items, and saying that you can only change this field for all asset accounts. Like this, there are many different settings predefined by SAP based on standard best business practices. Once again, please do not go and change any of these settings, as this will affect all the other company codes in the client. Now let's look at changing the fields for an existing or already posted document. So to see documents, go to Accounting, Financial Accounting, General Ledger, Documents, and you can either click on Change or Display, and then change after you display. Let's just click on Change Documents for now. Let's execute this transaction. Now if you already know the document number, you can key in the document number, the company code and fiscal year, and you can process this transaction. Remember, in our earlier presentations we discussed that each document is uniquely identified by the document number, company code and fiscal year. Now if you don't know the document number, then you should click on this icon, Document List, and you can search your document number. So for company code, key in your company code, and you can even give a range of fiscal year, from which year to which year. It's going to mention from 2015 all the way to 2017, and you can execute the transaction. Now sometimes system will give you a message, specify another selection criteria, because generally in a company you'll be having hundreds of thousands of documents, so it will take a very long time for the system to go and search through all of them. So you can give specific criteria, for example, between this posting date to this posting date, what type of document type it is, whether it's going to be an invoice document or a general ledger document or a sales document, asset document, etc. If you want to just to see the documents which you created, you click on Own Documents Only. That will even narrow down the search. But for now, our example, we have not created many documents, so we'll just leave it as it is and press Enter in your keyboard to ignore this message. Okay, there are only 3 documents in the system all created for this company code, so they are all being displayed, and the fiscal year is also being displayed. Now let's go and change one of these documents. For example, this document 18 followed by 8 zeros, DR, that's a document type, it's probably a customer invoice document type. Let's double click on that document, and the document is appearing now. Now if you want to change the header details of this document, which is this section, the header section, click on the hat. It's easy to remember, the hat goes on your head, so that is the header identification icon. So you can click on that, and here you can mention whatever you want for your document header text. For example, I'm just going to give change doc, and for reference I'm just going to put CHG, so we can just type in anything. As you can see, all the other fields have been grayed out, which means it cannot be changed. Only these 2 fields are having a background in white, which means it can be changed. It's also highlighted in blue fonts. Press this tick icon to continue. Now if you want to change the line items, click on any of the line items. For example, let me click on this line item, and you can see I can change any of these fields. Maybe for text also, I'll just write in change document example. You can put any type of text you want over here. Assignment also, if you want, you can change. You can even put a different value date. Now I'll go back to the overview of the document. You click on this mountain icon, which will take you back to the screen. And you can even change any of this line item also. This is the customer line item. And here also you can change the assignment number. Maybe I can put some assignment number over here. I can also change the text over here as well. Now it gives you changes to the baseline date. Because it's a customer document, you can even change the baseline date. Baseline date will calculate when it's a due date is for. So baseline date, remember in our earlier presentations, can be derived from the document date, the entry date, the posting date, or no default date at all. Now here I can even go and change the baseline date also. Like that. Now if I don't want to make if I am not expecting a payment from this customer, or imagine if this was a vendor document and I don't want to pay this particular line item or this particular transaction, I can even put a payment block by selecting any of the payment blocks available. It's usually the letter A, block for payment, and I can even block this account as well. So that's how it allows you to change documents for different type of purposes. Let me go back again. Just giving a message saying it's in the past. That's alright. Press enter on your keyboard to continue. Now I can save this document. And you click on the save icon to save the document. And you will get a message saying changes have been saved. Now for your assignment, try and change an existing document which you have already posted. Just change the document header info, that's the reference or the document header text fields. Also try to change the line item of those document, maybe the assignment and the text fields. You can just type in any text you want and then proceed to save the changes. The short transaction code to change document is FB02. And we also saw how to display a list of all the documents which you want to make any changes to. And we saw the configurations to change a document header and line item levels. Once again, it's recommended do not go and make any changes to those configurations. Just view them to have an understanding.